Welcome to the Weekend Warriors YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take this Jeep and turn it into a Jeep rod. I'm doing this for a challenge that Jay's Diecast Creations is setting out. He's doing a pink slip race, so I want to do something a little different than I've been doing with the Gaslands cars. So I take this Jeep apart. This is the first time I've taken off the posts and separated the body from a chassis. And I'm going to go all out with this one. This is my first complex build. So I take the plastic, I chopped off the the little mounts for the wheels, then I cut the posts off with this jewelry saw that I just bought recently. And I'm not very good at it. You can see I keep breaking the blades, and the blades are very hard to see, so I had to use my reading glasses so I can see which side the teeth were on. They're so tiny. So there was at least one time I put it on upside down, one time I put it on sideways. They're very tough to see. This one right here, you may be able to see the teeth, maybe upside down there, who knows. Anyways, I try to find a mount to mount this thing on so I can cut it off. You see I try a sponge here. The blade needs some space, so the sponge didn't work out too well. So then I move on to an old cigar box that I have. I don't smoke cigars, but I always wanted to build like a cigar box guitar. I have one that was already built, but I wanted to build one myself, and I've never gotten around to it, but I have this cool box. So now I find a piece of wood. I want to chop off the front, so I'm removing this hood from the body so an engine will fit in that space. But I want to keep the little front end with the lights and the grill. You can see there it's going to just sit on the front. Really cool. I'll get my little motor that I 3D printed. It's got some nice upward pipes on it. Very cool. I put on the gloves to protect my fingers from all the metal shavings. Here's the piece separated. I'm just going to use a thumbtack to use it as a punch and get me some starter holes that I'm going to end up using my pin vise on to drill some holes and get the axles through. You can see I'm just drilling it through. I just bought the pin vise, so this is my first project with that as well. Like I said, I wanted to go all out and do something really cool for Jay's Diecast Creations. So I don't want somebody to win some piece of junk from me, although some may still say it's a piece of junk when I'm done with it. So I'm just testing the wheel placement. I've decided on the rear axles I'm actually going to use a piece of this cotton swab tubing to connect the wheels. I've seen people do this online, but I've seen better ones with some pre-purchased or polystyrene tube, which I don't have, so I'm making do with what I have. So you can see the wheels are mounted there. I'm getting ready to mount the front wheels. I'm grabbing some axles off another set of wheels that were complete, so I can get enough of the shaft in through the hole and glue it down on some plastic that's existing in that metal floorboard. So here you can see the rear axle mounted. I used some baking soda to help cure that glue and give me a good solid foundation, I guess. I'm starting to paint the motor with some black paint. It's just some cheap craft paint. Someday I'll upgrade. But the cheap black craft paint works very well. Now I'm going to color the entire Jeep, or at least the outside, with that purple glowing paint. At first I didn't see it glow. I actually turned off the light and I'm like, it's not working. Then I noticed today, after everything was completed, the paint did glow at the end, which is cool. So it takes a lot of coats here. It goes on really thin, so it takes a heck of a lot of coats. It reminds me of the pink that I used the other day on the Gaslands vehicle. I use some brown on the seats. I want to get the interior some color, and like some sandy type brown for the floor. Then continuing on with the purple again, numerous coats, and also using a hair dryer in between to dry it so I can add more. I'm going to paint the valve covers here with some red. I want to give it a little color to the engine. I think the red gives it a nice touch. Nice accented piece here. Otherwise it's just going to be black and silver. Now I'm going to add a little black to the air filter there. And I'm going to cover up my mistakes with the silver again. Go over the exhaust pipes. You can see some black in the tips there. And I continue again with another coat of purple. I can't tell you how many coats I ended up adding. Here I'm finally adding the wheels to the front. Oh no, those are the rear wheels. I ended up having to hot glue them because the super glue wasn't holding. I just don't think there was enough surface area inside for surface glue. So I used some hot glue. You can see a mess on the axles there. I I end up cleaning it up later with a razor blade. I don't believe you see it on camera here. I don't believe I have it in the video. Then again with more purple. I added some black to the top of the roof just to break up the purple. You'll see I'll add a few more colors here and there. I didn't want it to be all purple. Now the purple is cool, but the original green would probably have been a better color. Just to kind of keep it something like that. It was a nice green. And here I am just painting the headlights with some white. You can see the grill was painted with some black. I do a little dry brushing with some silver over the grill, and it looks really good when I'm done. You can see the tail lights were painted as well as the license plate. So I give it some color. I continue to work on it and add some details. Here I'm adding a little yellow to the turn signals. And you can see a faint idea of what the dry brushing looks like on the grill there. Kind of tough to see because it's such a tiny piece. And I continue to add the yellow with steady hands, surprisingly. I'm sure it's resting on the table. But yeah, if my hands aren't resting on the table, they're shaking quite a bit. And here I am adding a wash to the seats in the floor. And I just added the wash to the engine as well. Give it a little dirt and grunge. It's not going to be a show quality rat rod, but not a rat rod, but a Jeep rod. But not many Jeep rods are show quality if you've ever seen them. The first time I saw one, I was at a show, and I thought it was the coolest vehicle that I'd ever seen. I thought, how amazing is that? A lot of people might be upset that they take a four-wheel drive off-road vehicle and turn it into, a little lowered street beater. But they're definitely an interesting build. You can see the wash is done. Now I'm taking a piece of card. I'm going to glue it on for a firewall between the engine and the inside of the vehicle, just to break that up. You don't want to be able to see straight through. So this cheap little paper, I just cut a notch in it to go over the steering column that's already manufactured on that piece there. And then there's a bit of the floorboard that's raised for the drivetrain, so that'll go over that as well. So once it's all together, it looks pretty cool. It's got a nice stance. The wheels stick out. It would probably been nice to have a little wider wheels, or maybe shorten the axle a little bit maybe. But I like the stance. It looks cool. And here I am. I'm getting ready to glue the pieces down. I clear coated them with some rattle can clear coat. I did a couple coats of clear, so it should be pretty durable. And here I am just gluing the piece down. The back part's not glued down yet, it's just resting in place. Here I am gluing the back down. So I'll add some glue to the back and wherever I can that I think the body's going to rest on the frame or chassis. A little more glue. I probably used too much glue, but you don't want it to fall apart, and I definitely want to mail this into this contest. I'll leave a link to the contest in the description, or to Jay's video. And here's the finished piece put together and looking good. You see I keep moving it around so you guys can see this, but I'm going to put it on a turntable here. Here we go. Here's my glamour shot on a little turntable that I took outside and rested on a tree stump that was cut down, or a tree that was cut down into a stump. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. Have a great day.